All right, all right, all right. I think we are live right now. Happy Monday, everybody. It is November 29, 2021. Thanksgiving holiday is over, at least for most of us. Most of the family has gone home. I know some of you still may be hanging out with your family, but guess what? Today we are 1 week away from our Ultimate Speaker competition, coming back to Las Vegas, where we began. And you know I'm going to ring my bell. It is my gratitude bell. Bring the gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest elevations, highest vibrations of emotion. And I am filled with gratitude and excitement and a little bit of stress pre-event, because that's the way it goes. And we decided, since everybody is in the mood, the mindset mood of the Black Friday, I don't know what you call it, Saturday, Small Business Saturday, Black Sunday, Cyber Monday specials, we have decided to continue the special that we did for our last spots for speakers through today and possibly till tomorrow. And I'm just excited to be here. 2 years ago, we had an idea, and we birthed it in December of 2019. And it is this event called the Ultimate Speaker Competition. You know what I realized? I don't even know if I did not test my microphone. So if somebody that is on right now, if you could just message me in the chat and say, hey, you can hear me well, because I didn't do a mic check. Brian, are we coming in good? I can hear you. Awesome. And I hope you can see me as well. I have some special guests that are going to be joining us today on this broadcast. And again, I am not completely well versed in StreamYard, but it is such an amazing platform. We are broadcasting right now to my public Facebook page, Christoph J. Wyman, also to our Ultimate Speaker community. I would like to say hello and welcome to any of you that are watching live or on the replay and in our Ultimate Speaker community private Facebook group. We are approaching about 400 members, and so exciting. We have speakers from all over the world that are a part of our Facebook group. So hopefully you'll be joining us. And then also we're broadcasting on our YouTube channel. And the purpose of our call today is, one, yes, we are going to continue and share with you the offer for the registration, which we've reduced dramatically to fill our final spots, to give a little bit more of an overview for some of you that may not really quite get what is this Ultimate Speaker competition all about. And guess what? I realize I have too much stuff on my desk that's blocking view of our branding. Branding is important, right? Lots of notebooks. That's right. That's how we go. That's what happens when you're doing it live. I have some guests that are coming to join us that are previous participants in our Ultimate Speaker competition. So without further ado, I would like to bring on to the stream our good friend who just joined us. I didn't even give him a heads up. He joined us in Colorado Springs, and he was one of our awesome speaker competitors in the storyteller category, I believe. Storyteller, am I right? And
yes,
he made it all the way to the end. He was one of our 2 finalists. This man brought his brilliance, his heart, his inspiration, his humor. He had everybody in the audience laughing and crying at the same time. We had tears and laughter and joy. And I would like to welcome Mr. Kevin Honeycutt from Colorado Springs. I just messaged him like 16 minutes ago. Hey, could you join us? Let me see. Yes, okay. He said he was going to put a hat on, but he didn't do it. I'm kidding.
That's how these things go. Yeah.
So, Kevin, you were with us just 4 weeks ago in Colorado Springs, and you and I met on LinkedIn, of all places. We did not know each other. You and I met maybe a week before the event. And tell me, what was the thing, what sparked for you that you decided that this is something that you wanted to participate in? And maybe even before that, give a little bit of background, because this gentleman here is not a beginner speaker. And a lot of times people might think, well, this event is for beginners. That's true. We do get beginners that come on our stage, and actually a lot of them, this is their launch. This is their first or second or third official time in front of an audience, officially speaking on stage. Then we get people like Kevin who have been speaking for 10, 15, 20. We don't even want to know how long you've been speaking, right, Kevin? But you, with all your experience and background, what caught your attention? What sparked your interest to join this event?
First, it was in my town. And then second, when you speak a lot, you're alone a lot. It's almost like being a performer who doesn't have a band. And I don't care how many shows you do, you don't have that camaraderie. And I've got other friends like this that I've said, you got to go to this thing, because I know they're lonely. They're talented, successful, lonely people. I don't care how good you are. You shouldn't just drink your own bathwater. You've got to go out there and connect to other people and see other people. And even you had novices there, you had people with experience, but what you see is passion and authenticity. And I was looking to walk into a dojo where I didn't know the martial art. And your dojo was new to me. And I thought, if I can just go in there and let myself enjoy, I don't care if I won or not, all the way through, because, you're in the same competition with people who are just getting started. What I cared most about was just new connections, letting myself be a part of someone else's design, which was fun, not being in charge. That was fun. I got to watch your wonderful people, and they're great. You collect wonderful people who all work so hard to make sure everyone feels valued. And you just did a class act thing, and I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, the price was right, and I thought I'll give this a try. But honestly, I didn't know how good it was going to be. And then I come out of it just feeling refreshed. I kind of needed a reboot, and I got what I was looking for. That's my short line.
And what you were talking about before too, for many of us, oh my gosh, thank you. My amazing wife just brought me some tea in our new Colorado Springs coffee mug.
Nice.
That's nice. Kevin Honeycutt. Come and say hi to Kevin Honeycutt.
How's it going there?
How are you?
You married way above your pay grade, my friend.
I know. I am blessed. I got. I love it. Okay, thank you. She didn't hear that, but she'll hear it on the replay. I'm married above my pay grade. At least I'm getting paid now.
There you go.
Some hot tea. For a lot of us, for most of us, look, the speaking industry, just like so many industries, it took a huge toll, took a huge hit during COVID. And so people who have been on the road, on stages, traveling all over the country, even internationally, that kind of was put to a halt. And yes, some people continued on with some live events. Bill Walsh, for one, our platinum sponsor, and he also shifted and started doing online events. So for most speakers, all of 2020, and even still in 2021 with different mandates and things going on, there haven't been a ton of live events. And so this is an opportunity for speakers to get into an audience in front of a live audience and to, polish your skills, sharpen your skills, test your mettle, see what you're able to do outside of maybe the arena that you are used to and that you are comfortable with. I'm going to bring, I don't know how much time Kevin has, but while you're still here, I'm going to bring on our next, and let you please stay, Kevin, but I'm going to invite Brian Young to join us. Brian Young has been with us since April of last year. Or of this year. Seems like it was last year. Brian came as one of our speaker competitors in April in Las Vegas. He came back and he's been a VIP every time. He came and joined us in Orlando. And then in Colorado, he stepped up his game and said, I love the event and I could come back and compete. But instead, he came back and offered his services as a judge and actually our head judge. So, Brian, you were there when Kevin was performing, and I do say performing. Speaking, when Kevin brings his brilliance to the stage, it's more than some speakers use the word speech. I'm going to do a speech. To me, doing a speech is like it's something that you canned and you memorized and you scripted and you're going to read it, from the lectern. Here's my speech. Well, Kevin didn't have any speech. Brian, tell us about your experience, whether you want to comment about
what I mean.
Tell me what you got.
Yeah, so the event is always fantastic, as you know, and it's constantly evolving to make it more fun, make it more challenging. So it's not just a competition; it's the workshop and building the camaraderie, going through several key exercises and skills, and developing confidence in yourself and in your game, what you're bringing to the stage. You don't have to be the consummate entertainer that Kevin is like stand up / speech. So it's like he's got this game. The game is be yourself, right? Deliver your message. Your message is a unique gift that other people need to hear. They need to experience. They need to absorb. Everybody's style is different. Everybody brings a different taste to the soup that makes up the whole event, and it's a great event. So you got the first day is the camaraderie, the skills building, the workshop. The second day is the competition, and the competition is it can be intense but fun. And so it doesn't matter whether you win or you lose. You win by being there, right? So there's really no loser. It's a great experience. It's an opportunity for you to sharpen your saw, to deliver to a new audience, to probably open some doors to get yourself in front of people you've never met before. You never know who knows who, and how that's going to, deliver, rich rewards down the path. So it's interesting how that has been a continuous theme. That it's a community. It's not just a competition. Absolutely. And, so a lot more here than just, what am I going to get? All right. What you're going to get is what you bring. If you bring great stuff, you're going to get great stuff. And if you participate full on, you're going to get some really cool experience and meet some great people. And so it's worth it, definitely. And I know we've got some slots still available. And
we do.
That's something I know you want to talk to everybody about.
I do in a moment, but Kevin, you got something you want to say something?
Well,
yes. Please.
Yeah. First of all, Brian, you were awesome. And, it's not easy after 17 years on the road doing 300 days a year in front of an audience to put yourself in front of a judge. My judge is a standing ovation. My judge is, and suddenly I'm like, I don't know you all. I don't know you all. It's a leap of faith that you guys will even see me. I mean, am I Ryan, Joe Pesci? When you're out there by yourself, I think of it this way. If you're a guitar player and you've never had a percussionist, you have a hard time sitting with a band. And suddenly I'm sitting with a band, and there is a timer, and it's 6 minutes. I always do 45 minutes to an hour, 17 years. Now suddenly I'm doing 6 minutes and then 7. And then, by the way, if you want to test yourself, hey, you people out there that think you might be too good for this, I have a message for you. Let's see. Put yourself on 6 minutes with none of your props, none of your stuff. And when you sit all back and you go to the octagon and fight in someone else's dojo. I loved it. But you've got to let go of the ego and say, life is offering me a chance here. I feel like I pulled into pit row, and Brian was there, and the judges were there, and they're going. They changed out my tires. They checked my oil. They put some fuel in. And said, "Kevin, you're about to go on the racetrack, and it's not the same after COVID." And they helped me. They helped me tune up. They helped me find myself. They helped me refine. I got to tell you guys, I'm emotional about this. It's been a long. I lost a year of income. I lost a year of confidence. I'm not me if I'm not on stage, and it's coming back slowly. And with the variant, who knows? All I know is you don't ever do word connections, and these are good connections. Christoph, you collect good people, and I'm not trying to pump sunshine up your panties. I love Brian, but Brian didn't just say stuff. I mean, he saw stuff. There's a difference. He didn't say the same things he says at every time. I could tell he really saw me, and that's when I started trusting. When the judges saw me, took the time to know who I was. And I was scared. I got to tell you, why was I scared? Well, it's hard. It's hard putting yourself in someone else's hands. But I would tell anyone who's on that fence, I was on the fence days before this one. And I got to tell you, I was impressed. I was impressed that I didn't have to drive. I could just be a part of something someone else designed. And your merry band of people, they're great. There's no jerks in there. You don't have any buttholes in that group. That's a big deal. You know, that's a big deal when you're vulnerable.
We try to screen them out, right? But I think we really do, like you say, we attract who we are. So if you put out there in an authentic way your heart and your positive energy and the desire to support and be of service, because that's what it's about. Yes, it's a competition, like Kevin said. And to your point, man, I congratulate every single person that comes on our stage, that joins us, that says, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna take a chance, because you are doing what the majority of speakers, whatever level of experience they are, most speakers will not put themselves in that position. Like Kevin said, my judge is a standing ovation. I know when I get the response from the audience, when you're doing a keynote speak, when you're in front of, the event planner that hired you, your judges, you've already been paid. Now you've got to perform for what you've been hired to do. But to come into a room where we have a panel of people and you say, well, who the hell are they? Who are they to, well, and it doesn't even mean that these people who are judges are the best speakers ever. That's not what we're saying. There are people that they're very good, but they also are from various different levels. But we also can be better coaches for ourselves, for others, than we are for ourselves, right? So you can be so brilliant and so amazing, but when you have somebody else that comes along and can see things differently, and one of the assets that we provide for our speakers is those pages, the judges' written feedback forms, which you receive post-event, that you can then look at your video that we also provide you and then say, oh, okay, I never noticed that about myself. Something good or something that you can work on. Like, oh, the judges said this. Oh, you know what? Now I see that in the video. I watched this video of myself over and over again. I never knew that I do that thing, whatever that is. Something to enhance and continue doing, or something to go like, I'm going to be conscious of it and not do it next time. So what was the biggest, Kevin, please?
One of the things that I don't think is obvious when you first walk into this is you're going to be in there. The young man who was telling his story, who was, in my opinion, happening right there on stage. You know what I'm talking about?
Josh, yes.
Thin guy, tall kid, and nervous, and just something about being that older person and watching that fledgling speaker with a story to tell, by the way. Now, I've judged forensics and I've judged drama events as a high school teacher for years and years. And so I love to mentor, I love to coach, I love to help. I hadn't done that in years and years. You're suddenly in this event and it takes you back to your beginning because you're helping him, and you're seeing him. And there's something about the review. There's a book called The Curse of Knowledge. And the book is essentially about the idea that once you get good at something, you forget what it felt like when you weren't. This opportunity to be there with with that kid, he was in my group. So we were together. And by the way, everyone that walked on that stage had this moment of birth, this moment of, and that can only happen if you circumstance safe and you surround them with people that are safe. Beautiful things happen there. And I did not see a single person deconfirmed. And this is a big deal. To me, this is a big deal. That those people all got something. They all got confidence. And I got to help with that. I got to be a mentor To me, the competition was fine. It was secondary to me. To me, it was just being in a room full of people with pure motives who just have dreams. Yay!
Yeah.
It took me back to my first years in this work, because you can get cynical, you can get burned out, you can get tired. And so this came along at the perfect time for me. And I'm telling my friends, Ben signed up. My friend Ben
Yeah.
is one of the best speakers I know. He called me and said, what was it like? He was very interested. I was surprised he was so interested. A lot of my friends were. And I'm like, you need to do this. Well, I've been speaking for years. I know. You need to do this. Look, every car goes into pit row to get new tires. And if you think you can drive on those tires and not change the oil and not blow an engine, you're wrong. So this is your chance to go in there with safe people in pit row and get your car fixed up. I'm telling everybody. So if there's somebody you need to convince, have them call me.
Well, let's have some of those people call us now, Kevin.
Absolutely.
I know you put out the message to some of your friends, because you're right. We've had now you're thinking. You probably know a couple more people you're going to send our way. Mr.
When this
Ben
goes
Rodriguez.
live, I'll shoot them a link. When this goes live,
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot them a link.
Absolutely. And I love that you're sharing. Look, we know this is a challenge. It's meant to be a challenge, but it is empowering too. As Kevin said, yes, we have a panel of judges. There's no Simon Cowell, right? There's nobody that is saying, who told you would be a speaker? You better go back to working at your McDonald's or whatever your day job is. Stick to building websites, because this is not your gig. You don't hear any of that. It's constructive criticism, and it's critique that really helps people take it to heart. I mean, we see transformation during day one. People that, they're there because they want to grow. If you are somebody who you've been speaking for a while and you've got it all together, I say, come, just join us. See what you have. And maybe you could be an example and an inspiration for some of the other younger speakers, right? There's so many dynamics that happen. You don't know why you're there, what the purpose is. And as Brian was saying a moment ago, there's somebody on that stage or in that audience that is waiting for you to show up. Somebody is waiting for you and your message. But if you just stay in your own little silo and your own network, I only speak to hospitals because that's my expertise. Well, bring your expertise to us. Or I only speak to schools, or I only, I do private coaching. Okay, that's communication. Now come and speak on the stage. The eloquence and the great gift that you share with your private coaches, take that value and that content and share it out on the stage and amplify what you are doing. Bill Walsh, our platinum sponsor, says your story is too big to play small. I say it all the time, quoting him. It's true. All of us have the capacity to do so much more, so much greater impact in the world. If you have the capacity to do so, you should be playing at a higher level. And it's not about the money, although money is great. And I'm service focused oriented, but I want to get paid, and it's business too. But as you sharpen your skills as a speaker, you will get more speaking gigs. People tell me, well, I only get paid to speak. I don't pay to speak. You're not paying to speak. You're paying for a registration to be in an event. Let me ask you a question. If you've ever gone to an Ironman competition, do you say, well, I work out for free? I don't pay to work out. You're not paying to work out. You're paying to be in the event, right? If you are, like I have some friends who are bodybuilders. Well, if you're applying to be in Mr. Olympia, are you just going there for free? No, I think you have tens of thousands of dollars of sponsorship that is required. There's one who's just going to Mr. Olympia soon, right? Brian Young. He's got his own transformation story. The point is, you get what you put into it. Like Brian said, if you say, well, what do I get? What do I get? If you show up with that attitude, then you're going to get whatever you put into it, right?
Yeah,
what you're putting into it is, give it to me. Come on, what do I get? No, show me. We're going to pour into you, right? You're going to be blown away. You're going to be blessed, but it's got to be reciprocated. You have to be open to receive. Wow, that was pretty good. I know it's simple. That was pretty good. Kevin.
Well, and you will be challenged. So A great example of that, went to the Orlando event and got there, and part of the workshop stuff, you really challenged everybody to think a little outside the box. And one of the things that you did is you sat down, and you may or may not be able to do this with everybody this time, but you did this with me. You sat down with me and some others individually, one-on-one, and said, what are you going to talk about? How are you going to present? You might remember this. I'm sure you do, but I sure as heck do. You looked at me and said, that's great. Now throw it all out.
Pretty much.
And I'm like, what? That was great. That was awesome. But throw it all out. I want you to do something entirely different. This was what, about 8:30, 9 o'clock the night before the competition portion of the event. So I literally totally revamped everything I was going to say. And right up to the moment I stepped on stage, I wasn't quite sure how I was going to start, but I knew I was going to, and I knew I was going to deliver, and I did. And even though I wasn't the winner of a competition, I know I knocked it out of the park. I delivered something that was better than I'd ever done before, right? And so the only person I'm in competition with, the only person anyone's in competition with is yourself, right?
Yep.
All you have to do is be better today than you were yesterday or the day before. And so this is an opportunity for you to get in front of a group of people who, like you said, aren't going to cut you down. They're there to build you up. They're there to help you be better than what you were. They're there to help you expand your set of tools, your methods, your tempo, your message, to come up with something that may be newer, better, bigger than everything you've ever done before. And the worst possible thing you can do is just not show up, right? If you show up and you play full on, you're not going to lose here, right? You're going to gain something. And even, for even us as judges, we're not up there on the stage doing a performance, doing a presentation. But I guarantee you, I took something away from every single speaker I had opportunity to listen to, because every single person has a unique set of skills. I find myself listening to speakers frequently just to hear how they deliver, if not their message, right? So their message may be great, their message may be relevant, but I'm also trying to hone my own skills. And so that's what this is. It's an opportunity for you to get outside of your comfort zone. I guarantee you this is going to be in some spots a little uncomfortable, but that's where you grow, right? You don't grow where you're comfortable. A plant, if it's going to set good roots, has to push down through soil it's never pushed down through before. If a tree is going to have a strong root system, it must go where it hasn't been. So the only way you can grow and flourish is to put yourself in a spot you haven't been before. And even if you have, a great number of people who participate in these different events have participated once somewhere else.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, yes.
And I'm not the only one that's done that. So the point is that, there's a reason for that. The reason for that is because each time you do it, you grow, you prosper, you enhance yourself, you make your message better. I guarantee you, Kevin, I'm looking right at you. I guarantee you your message is better this time than it was last time, right? Because you keep honing your skills. I know Christoph does the same thing. Christoph, every time you deliver your message, you're not just delivering the same message over and over again. You present your message, you go, wow, that was good. I need to remember that. Yeah. Wow, that was good. I need to do that again. Or that kind of sucked. I shouldn't do that one ever again. Right?
It's always growth. Always growth.
Yeah.
Kevin.
You should always hang out with people like this. And this is what I love about this, is that amazing people make you better just by being in the same room. To the very end of his life, Robin Williams was walking randomly into comedy clubs and doing his act. He couldn't stop. Just because you're made doesn't mean you're done.
Wow.
And I think that's the problem, is that we fall in love with our own brand and we drink our own bathwater and call it Perrier, and we forget that new market comes from growth and change and the willingness to be infected by new ideas. And so, I felt like this was the perfect time. All you speakers out there, if your calendar evaporated like mine did, and I lost, I don't even want to go into how much we lost, but I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking how much I gained. What did I learn when I pivoted? What did I learn when I took my whole brand online? What did I learn when I started doing what Christoph's doing right here with this broadcast? How do we reach people and still change the world for the better while paying the bills? And there's nothing wrong with that. even during COVID. And to me, it's important because we are still, I think, upper Paleolithic gatherers who are learning to survive always. And the minute you get comfortable, you're done, right? So you walk into that comedy club and you do your act one more time. Well, let me tell you some truth, backstage truth. I have a keynote, a PowerPoint. I've been doing that for 17 years. My keynote is a big part of my art. I'm an art teacher. All the pictures are carefully picked by me for effect. I pop that picture on the audience and boom, I hit him again. I've got a rhythm. I've got a way, and it works. And suddenly I couldn't do it. By the way, Christoph at school, he said, use your PowerPoint. Well, no one else was using a PowerPoint. I'm not going to be the jerk that has a PowerPoint. So I go home and tell my wife, I'm doing this. I'm going to go ahead and be a guy with no PowerPoint because I have ADHD and the PowerPoint is actually my script. I need the script. Otherwise, it was written on my hand. The 5 things I was going to say had to be written on my hand because I can't hold 5 ideas in my head without another dose of Ritalin. So I'm scared crapless. I could pinch off rebar with my finger. I'm that nervous. Just to be a guy that's been doing this 17 years in thousands of different locations and be nervous again, to be a freshman again, that was cool. I came home and I was excited. Oh my God, to feel like I'm new again. You know what I mean?
When was you that are watching the broadcast? When was the last time you challenged yourself? When was the last time you felt what Kevin is talking about? That you got on stage and you're like, "Ooh, I don't know what to expect here." If you've been speaking for so long, we hear it from, and I'm not trying to be mean to speakers, but sometimes we get to such a point in this mindset, I get paid to speak. I'm a this, I'm a that. Yeah, I know, that's awesome. And it's amazing because you've established yourself. You've worked hard to build your brand, to build your reputation. Awesome. But continue to sharpen the axe, continue to grow. The greatest high performance anybody in the world, if you're a sports fan, think of your favorite athlete. How many coaches do they have? Not one, not just the team coach. They have a mindset coach. They have a nutrition coach. They have a fitness coach. They have a financial coach. They probably have 5, 6, 7 coaches.
Right.
Is that because they're weak? Because they suck? Because they can't do it by themselves? Or is it because they have so much greatness within them and they know that it can be drawn out and honed and polished and coached better by having a coach? You know what the word coach means? I'm looking for my book. One of my favorite books is a book called Aspire, which is actually the name of my company too, Aspire Enterprises. I started my company before I read the book. And this book, each chapter is a word, and it's the etymology of the word, where it came from. So the word coach, and I don't remember the exact spelling, but the word coach comes from a place in Eastern Europe where carriages were first built. It's from a place like Kochen, Germany, or Kochen, Coaken, or something like that. And it was the word that was used for the device or the vessel that was used to carry royalty from one place to another. It then was watered down or through translation and everything, it became our word for coach today. That's what a coach does. You are royalty, and a coach takes you from where you are to the next place. That's a coach. And if you are a person that is a high achiever, and I know you who are listening, you wouldn't even be inspired to click on this. You wouldn't even pay attention. You wouldn't be in Kevin's circle probably, or Brian's, or anybody that's on our call or in our team. You are a high performer. Forget about what COVID took from you. Somebody said this the other day. Forget about what it took from you. What did it provide? What opportunities? And put yourself in this arena. What we do is unique. Is it the best of the best anywhere? There are many things that are great out there, but we have developed an event and an experience that has grown and evolved where it is about those 3 C's. It's about connection, collaboration, and competition. And it's building a community and people that have gone through this event, we now become connected and friends, and we're doing things together, cross-promoting each other, creating programs together, getting on each other's programs, podcasts, shows, etc. This is what it's about. Brian.
Cross-pollination.
But, yeah, I mean, Darius Rucker says it in a song. When was the last time you did something for the first time, right? If you don't do something, if you don't do something new on occasion, you're never challenging yourself. Then it's called a rut. You got to get out of the rut. So you got to try to do something new. This is going to, be the equivalent of purifying gold, right? So you can't purify gold without applying some heat and some pressure and some processes. And when you get everything right, you've got this something that's worth a lot more than what it was when it started. You have to do something different. And so this is a cool way to do it. It doesn't hurt. It might cost a little bit of money and some time, but it doesn't hurt. And it's going to make you better at the end. You're going to be more valuable as a speaker. You're going to be more valuable as a presenter. Your message is going to be a lot better. You'll walk away with some people you know, like, and trust, and some great resources. And you can call on people and like I know I could call Christoph or Kevin and say, hey, got this idea for a new presentation. What do you think? And I guarantee you both of them are going to say, whip it on me, show me, tell me.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to say, well, that was great, but here's somewhere you could do a little better. Or this is awesome, tweak it this way, or consider this or that, or add some laugh or a pause, or lose the
Yeah.
right? Those kind of things.
Exactly. Kevin Honeycutt.
I've got to add, I like to say that most people live next door to their best self, but they don't live in the house they should live in. They've moved into this house, and the one over here is a mansion. This one's nice, but it's not the mansion. And all they have to do is give themselves permission to move in next door to this then. And by the way, there's a dichotomy. There's a whole, bunch of houses on that block, but you belong in the mansion, but you might have settled for the 2-bedroom, and you think that's it. And I'm saying, if you don't walk into that house and look around, you'll never know. You will never know. So I want to see Brian's the presentation he did. I want you to shoot me a link, because I'm a guy that sits in the front row and watches every presentation. I have no ego about this. To me, I want to learn. I want to learn at the feet of genius. And there's a lot of genius out there. Everybody has a different dialect of brilliance. And if you're smart enough, you collect it, right? You collect it. You go out there. I think Brian and I could be brothers probably, because he has a kindness and a sensibility. Honestly, there's a nice little blend of things there. And when I met him, I just thought, what a great guy. And I think that you and I would be on a judging panel, almost a replication of the same person, because we have a lot of the same attributes. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to promote everything you do. Christoph, have I said no to anything you've said since I met you? That's what happens when you meet with great people. They want to promote each other.
Yeah.
These are not jerks. Christoph does not collect jerks. And I've met people who do. He collects.
I mean, literally, I messaged Brian and Kevin less than 10 minutes before the broadcast. I gave them an idea that it might be happening at some time in the future in past days when we talked. But I said, how about now?
Brian, I'm the newest victim.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Well, this was easy. It didn't require getting on an airplane the next morning.
Right. Yeah. In fact, the little story, Brian was not slated to be with us in Colorado because we weren't sure. And then our ascribed head judge wasn't able to make it at the last minute. So we called Brian the night before in Colorado and said, hey, what are you doing? Can you join? What are you talking about? But he stepped up. And here's the thing. We have a long way to go. We've been doing this for 2 years. This will be our 6th time. But I'll tell you, we've established, we've created, we've polished a little bit. We've got a lot still to polish, but it shines enough I see that it resonates with people to want to come back.
Right.
In some as competitors a second or a third time, and others after that as a sponsor, as a judge, as a promoter, as a partner. And we must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Because it's a commitment, and Brian's been here since April, just like the next gentleman. It's all guys tonight. I don't know where the ladies are. They're watching, but we have Gordon. I want to bring Gordon Brodecki on to join us. And I don't know how much time you have, so I just feel free if you have to leave, but we welcome you to stay as long as you can. Gordon Brodecki also has been with us since April, and he was one of our VIP competitors in April, semifinalists, again in Orlando, and then in Colorado Springs. He also stepped up and said, I love what you guys are doing, and I want to be a part of it. But I don't know if I want to keep competing. What else can I do? How can I support? How can I bring value? And it's heartwarming when somebody sees what you're doing, believes in it, and is willing to invest in themselves, to invest in you. And he came back as one of our judges and sponsors, and now he's coming back as our gold sponsor. So he's going to be taking the stage, and he's got an amazing program he's going to be revealing there. But Gordon, want to say hi, welcome. Gordon is the owner of Garage Fitness and a fitness trainer. I apologize. I didn't allow Kevin and Brian to actually really introduce themselves. We just started off a conversation like we're just three buddies hanging out. But we'll go back and we'll do that too, because I would like those that are watching, like, well, who are these people, so that they get context. So, but Gordon, welcome. Come on in. The weather.
Thanks, guys. How you guys doing tonight, man? I see some familiar faces here. We got Kevin Honeycutt. We got Brian Young. Who else is on with us? Just is it us three?
Yeah. Well, we're broadcasting. This is the broadcast studio, and then others are watching. We are broadcasting onto my professional Facebook page, Christoph J. Wyman, to our Ultimate Speaker Community Facebook group, private group, and also to YouTube. It's going out live right now.
I absolutely love it, and I'm honored to be on tonight. Yeah, like Christoph was saying, I'm coming out as a gold sponsor, and I have this great program that I can't wait to share with everybody. I want to keep it on the wraps. I don't want to talk too much about it, because I'd rather wait till I get there and share that with everybody. But the program itself is help people that are already high achievers level up. Most people don't realize even high achievers have 20 times more potential in them. So that actually comes from the Marines. They talk about that. People think they've reached their potential, and they haven't, right? So that's what this program is all about. It's helping you level up no matter who you are. I don't care if you're Donald Trump. I'm going to help you create more business for yourself. I'm going to help you become a better version of yourself and a higher achiever. So that's what I'm bringing to the table here when I go.
Tell us about your experience since you've been with us now. Like Brian, you have been with us throughout the whole year, 4 times.
Oh my God, the experience is amazing. How can I put it in words? It's one of the times I actually get lost for words when I talk about it, because it's so awesome. Every time it's been something a little bit different, right? I spoke at 2 of the events, and then I sponsored it. Was it 2 or 3 events? I feel like I've been there so many times now. And then I sponsored the last one, and I just came there just to speak and hang out and to judge and just be part of it. And I'll tell you what, you meet a lot of great people. That's one of the main things. You meet a lot of great people that you network with that are other high achievers also, who want more out of themselves, and they level up. One of the things I talk about in my program, and I don't want to give it away, but basically is to surround yourself with higher achievers and finding people that will help you level up. And that part of the program is finding people that is part of that, right? You're going to be doing that in the program. So this is what this does already, right? You're already getting that with this when you go to the Ultimate Speaker competition. And I'll tell you what, I created some great friends. I barely know Kevin from the competition, but he was an awesome guy. I got really chummy with him, and then, of course, Brian. We became great friends. We've the last day we actually left, we were just sitting there hanging out, having we having lunch together. I think I had a Bloody Mary, and then I don't know, what did you have? Like I don't even know if you were drinking that
Blue
day.
Moon, man, Blue Moon.
Yeah, the Blue Moon. That's right. That's right. We had a great talk. We took some pictures and parted ways. And since then, Christoph, I've taught that I've released it. What, like 30 times? About something in one way, shape, or form. And we're going to collaborate more in the future. So yeah, Kevin, what we're doing next, we're bringing this thing to Philly. We're coming back around. So I'm from the Philly area, so we're gonna bring it. That's Philly. I hope you guys want to come because I would love to have you there too.
What was the hardest, or what was the biggest challenge for you, Gordon, when you joined the event? Yeah,
originally,
anytime. Maybe the first time,
the first time was actually pulling the trigger on getting the event, right?
Talk about that.
You reaching out to me, and
Who is this guy?
Who's this guy, right? So, and that's how it happens, and that's what's have an open mind. I think that was the important part, and also challenging myself and realizing I spoke one other time prior to that, and realizing I like this, and I want to do better with this, and I feel this would be a good avenue to go down. I'll tell you one thing: you have a good vibe about you, and I feel like a pretty decent reading people right off the bat. And I've noticed that you really do care, and you put a lot of effort, and the whole team puts a lot of effort. Not just you; it's you, Michelle. It's like everybody. Everybody puts their effort into this. And the one thing I got to say is, even though it was a competition, you made me feel welcomed. And right off the bat, I felt that, and everybody in that room felt that too. Was it challenging? Yeah, it was challenging. It was. You got to get up there. It's like But I tell you what, I quickly just gravitate towards it. And once you get up there, it's over. You're like, I'm glad I did it. I think it's the one thing. You get up there and you're like, I'm glad I did it. I don't care how long you've been speaking for. Well, Anthony, what do you do? Every time you speak, it's a little different. And you take something away from it more and more and more. But that was my first experience. My second experience was very similar to the first one, where I'm still feeling it out. But when I got up there and me and you, we were coaching me through and you said, and I embraced just to pull out the most powerful part of myself. I noticed that I pushed myself, and I got up there. I was excited, and it changed. It actually leveled me up. So this is how I look at it. We have the point, right? Where a set point where we get to, we're all comfortable, and then we go back to here. So when you do these things that make you feel uncomfortable, especially this, when you level up, it goes up to here, and then it comes back down to here now instead of being down to here. So that's why you got to keep doing it over and over again, building it up. So you eventually that arrow's pointing up and staying up, right? That's how my experience was with that. As a judge, go ahead.
Did you surprise yourself?
Most definitely.
When we pushed you and said, I know you've got more, and you and I had some of these conversations, and then even with the Engage the Stage and everything, but did you surprise yourself when you came back each time?
You know what I noticed is that I got more and more comfortable being uncomfortable. To the point where it wasn't what I didn't the way I spoke, the jitters, it wasn't even jitters, just the way I spoke, everything started getting better. It just became easier and easier and easier in that aspect. Yes, I definitely surprised myself in that way, where I'm like, oh, well, this isn't like, so many people are scared of speaking, and that's why they don't join the competition. I think a lot of people, or they don't think it's the right time. There's always something that comes up, right? For whatever reason, and it's really a belief system of yourself. There's three reasons people don't excel. It's your belief system, it's your character, your skill set. And if one of those things are out of alignment, then you're not going to succeed. So I've realized that part of mine was a skill set problem. It wasn't so much a belief, but what it did though, taking out the skill set is actually when I started utilizing it, which is your program. My belief went up, my habits, my character went up. My character is your mastermind. That's what like a group of all of us together, we're taking ideas off each other. That's how we're growing to the next level, because we have each of us. I use the Batman analogy, right? Batman on his own, he's a great solopreneur. He's right. But when a real problem happened, he went out and he seeked out the Justice League. Other people have different skill sets. So when you're building yourself up, it's the three things: it's belief, It's character and it's skill set. And then like you tap into all three of those things this competition does. And like that's the only problem that entrepreneurs have and anybody who's leveling up. It's those three things.
I like it. Wow, that's awesome. Brian, you were going to say something, I think.
Wow, I lost the thought, but you know, the whole thing. So, Gord, you and I have become friends. Absolutely. I mean, so around the four of us here, I think we can all say we're friends. That's actually one of the great things. So, you as entrepreneurs, many entrepreneurs do this stuff all to themselves, all by themselves. That's one of the things Kevin was alluding to, that we have very few opportunities where we could be in a room full of other great people, other smart people. This is one of those opportunities. I know for a fact, like Gordon was saying, that people have more potential than they think. Most people do what they do because it's comfortable. You get comfortable with what you're doing. You do what you do because you know it. You don't have to think about it, right? That's that practice. But if you don't push yourself out, you can't get there. So one of my things for over 35 years, I've been helping people build their dream life and then fund it through real estate. That's one of my claims to fame. And so part of a dream life is having circles of friends and people who are around you who are great people, right? You are the sum of the people, you've heard this before, are the 5 people you hang around with the most, okay? I like to think that I'm a lot better because I'm hanging around with people like you guys, that I'm hanging around with people who are other great people, and they're bringing out skill sets in me and things that are improvements in me. I am better today than I was a year or two ago. And a great example of that, and this is part of my story, is, and I'm giving you the real thin version of this. When everybody else went outside and gained their 19 pounds or their 39 pounds as the average actually is because of COVID, I took the opposite approach. I went out and I decided I wasn't going to go under house arrest. If you get COVID, hang around people, I'm going to go where there are people. And I started working out. I started working out by doing things I loved. I have my 5 diamonds: hike, bike, dance, kayak, go to the gym. Long story very short, in just a few short months, I lost 85 pounds. Wow. And I've kept it off. And I was able to reverse my diabetes, and still it's always a challenge because diabetes is an unwieldy kind of thing. But I've been able to keep healthy and strong and fit, and I have a lot more energy, a lot more stamina, a lot more fun, and I'm around people that I enjoy being around, and that's a huge thing, right? So this is all about what I do, helping other people. I also apply that back to myself. So when I'm in a group like this, not only am I helping other people, but I'm learning by helping other people, right? So these are all things that are part of why we do this. It isn't because, could I be doing something else on a weekend like this? Sure. Sure I could. Could I have some fun and do some things and make some money? Yeah, absolutely. But I can be here and be around some great people. I can be here and learn and produce and share and grow. And that's all part of my personal wiring. I think it's everybody who's in an event like this, that's their personal wiring. Yeah, okay. So if you're a type A personality, you really want to compete, okay, bring it on, right? But there's a lot more to this than that. And this is a great community. And I'm writing my own book series. So one of my claims to fame is being in real estate. I help make people millionaires. Anybody want to become a millionaire? Hey, I'm your guy. Come talk to me. I can show you how it's done. I do it all across the country for people. And that's part of what I'm doing more of. And I'm rolling out my books. My books are coming out under a title that is The Bible of Real Estate, which I really love. And one of the taglines that I have now is the Great American Real Estate Guru, or the Great American Guru of Real Estate. So, and that's something that came from people giving me that title, not me choosing that title. It was somebody said, "Hey, that's great." One of my other claims to fame is, if you're selling or buying, you got to call Brian. That was actually from another client. It's a lady from South Carolina, the deepest the South Carolina accent.
On. There you go, man.
This stuff happens, and it's like, okay, these are things that you get out there, you push yourself out, you bring it back around, and you can't lose by being part of this community.
let me say this, and that's Brian. If you're selling or buying, you got to call Brian. I love it, man. You got to copyright it. You got to copyright it.
It is. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Listen, a lot of times people tell us, "I'll do the next one." Guess what? There isn't a next one, because the next one never comes. Right? People, it's the next one. Well, guess what? We've done 3 next ones since the last time I talked to you. Since the last time you said this is awesome, I'll do it next time. And we're so coming back to Vegas. And here's the thing: what an amazing opportunity for you to end your year positioned like this. Yeah. Would you like to be in a room, in a place with high achievers, honing your skills, making those connections, opening those doors of opportunity that prepares you to blast off for 2022? Or are you going to sit back and you're going to wait until the next one and then see what happens at that time? You don't know what's going to happen. If you have the ability, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen next January, February, March. None of us do, right? We don't know. So take the opportunity when it is presented to you. A lot of times people will say, well, I didn't, this is short notice. I wasn't expecting it. This is what opportunity is. Opportunity comes when it's not expected. It's presented to you when you are not expecting it. And you have the chance to take advantage of it and to step into it. I had a great conversation with a woman today who was introduced to me by our videographer. And she resonated with everything. And then she said she missed up the days in her mind. It's December 6th and 7th, by the way, my friends. So it's next Monday and Tuesday. We'll do a meet and greet the night before on Sunday. So it's literally 7 days from now. And she had in her mind that it's the 7th and the 8th. And somehow she said, well, I have a speech that I have to give on this day or this time. And I said, okay, but that's the days of our event. And she is now working to figure out what is the option to make it work for her. How can she make it work? And she said, I have no problem with broaching the subject with the place that I'm supposed to be speaking at, because I'm in charge. Like there's things that she could do. She could have somebody fill in for her. She could have, there's many options. So rather than her saying, oh, well, sorry, those dates don't work for me, I guess it's not meant to be. If it wasn't meant to be, why did you and I cross paths just a moment ago then anyway? Why is this present? She said, I am a firm believer in opportunities present themselves at the time when they are supposed to. They are presented to you at the time that they are supposed to. I'm not in charge of, I just watched the Loki series. I'm not in charge of the time variant timeline. I am not a part of the time variant authority. But I will tell you, so I don't know anything about that, but I do know this. If it came across your desk, if it came across your feed, if you are looking at it, if you're considering it, and it's possible, but it takes a stretch from you, you should do it. It's not supposed to be easy. Oh, well, I got to buy a plane ticket. You can drive. We drove to Colorado, right? Anywhere you are in the country, if you leave today, you'll get here. I would tell you that I was at an event in June, not our event, but an event that I was a sponsor at here in Las Vegas. And there was a woman who drove from North Carolina to Las Vegas. She said, I left on Saturday. You mean yesterday? No, last week. But she saw the opportunity in that particular event. And that's what I'm saying for each of you. And sometimes when I speak, maybe it's intense and it's, well, wow, somebody sent me a message. Hey, so-and-so is interested in doing this event, but she said you came across a little strong. I said, yeah, good. Because if it gets you to be pushed just a little bit, if you say to me, this is BS, this is bullshit, pardon my language, but it's my broadcast. This is bullshit. I don't like this thing that you're doing. What is all this? Doesn't make sense. I don't need anything. I don't want to connect with people. I got it all going on. There's a bunch of waste of time and all that stuff. Then we're not going to talk. But if you and I talk and you say, wow, this is awesome. Wow, this looks great. Oh, I see what you're doing. Oh, this is an alignment. Like, you're all positive, focused people. You're making an impact in the world. If this is connecting with you, it's resonating with you, that's when I do push you. I say, well, let's figure it out. How can you make it work? What can you do? And when people say, I don't have money, most people, when they say I don't have money, they're talking about, Tony Robbins is known for saying it's not about your resources, it's about your resourcefulness. When people say I don't have money, what they're talking about is, well, in my money clip right now, I don't have that $600 so I don't have the money. Okay, well, what about your this or that? What other resources or resourcefulness can you have to make it happen? I don't know. Look, the opportunity is in the show up. That's my friend Andy Audate. The opportunity is in the show up. It's not until you get there. It's not until you take action. It's not until you pull the trigger. Gordon's word, pulling the trigger. Until you pull the, I had a conversation with a gentleman today, and he said, well, it looks awesome. And I'm not making this up. These are conversations, real conversations I've had. So this was with Peter. Earlier it was with Melanie. You will know who I'm talking about when the event happens. Peter says, beautiful, like we had a call scheduled. He said, let's do a Zoom. And I like that because we can see each other. It's the best thing next to being in person rather than a phone call. And loved it all. We're talking the same language. He's about serving others. He sees the opportunity, and he tells me there's some challenge with, waiting for some clients to pay, et cetera. We're all in that same boat, right? You're waiting for clients to pay. I'm waiting for clients to sign up. We're all in that circle. And he says, but I'm in, like, I want to do it. And rather than letting him get back to me, I'll get back to you, because that's the usual thing. It's next time and I'll get back to you. They don't ever get back. And I just challenged him. I said, look, if it really connects, if it resonates, if it makes sense to you, I'm going to challenge you. Start to take action. I've already emailed you the application. Takes no money whatsoever to fill out the application. Now you are putting action, faith in action. You are putting yourself in activity. You're putting yourself in the mindset, the zone, the energy, the emotion that I'm doing this. I'm going to fill out this application. I said, great. What category are you in? So he's making a decision. I said, you can send me easily the stuff that I need, your headshot, your 50-word bio. And if you feel that things are coming through, and it might be a day or two, I would offer another challenge. Why not put down just a deposit? You're putting yourself in faith. You're putting yourself in that mode. That was the end of our conversation. He said, okay, great. Texted me about an hour or so before this broadcast. He said, I'm in. I'm going to do it. Got to figure out a couple things, but I'm in. I'm doing it. There it is. He could have. You only need one reason. You only need one reason why not to do something, whatever it is. Like Brian said, when was the last time you did something for the first time? I know you guys all got something to say, but I needed to say that. I needed to say that because it's important. Brian, Kevin, Gordon.
I'll let Brian go.
All right. So we all, and I've said this from stage many times, we all think we have more time than we have, right? We all think we have more time than we have. And so part of the rest of my story was the decisions I made to get healthy and fit saved my life. It saved my life because on January 25th of this calendar year, I ended up in the hospital. I had collapsed twice in my house. Got the ambulance dialed, flatlined twice in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. Ended up with what was supposed to be a 2-hour simple surgery, became a 6-hour almost died surgery. But I didn't die. And on the 26th of January, I woke up and said, heck yeah, I got another day. God's not done with me. I got something I got to deliver. I have to get my message out. And so I've been working diligently to do exactly that, finding opportunities to do exactly that. And this is that kind of wake-up call that I got. That wake-up call, this may not be yours. My particular situation may not be yours, but you'll have your own. And if you wait too long, you might not get your message out. That'd be the worst thing you could possibly do is you wait, you put it off, you kick the ball down the path, you say, I'll do it later, right? And it doesn't happen. Everything else becomes more important. And all of a sudden, now you're not doing what you need to do. So when I say all this, I'm convicting myself, by the way, because things I got to get done I haven't done yet. But the point is, this is one of these opportunities. You're on this. You're listening to this. You have an opportunity to say yes or no. Okay? Yes is full of possibilities. Yes is full of potential and future and new experiences and new skill sets and delivering something special, unique, and different. No slams the door. No says, I'm not doing it, right? I'm not going to share what I've got. I'm going to be selfish and keep my gifts to myself just a little longer, because no, the answer is no. And that's just not right, right? Our gifts are not for us. They are for somebody else. And if we deliver that, somebody else gets the benefit of that. We made the world a better place, right? There's the old saying, be the ball, but there's also the old saying, be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
So be the change you want to see. Step forward, take that leap of faith, get on that stage. You're not going to get bitten. Nobody's going to boo you off. You're not going to have tomatoes thrown at you. You know, we're not going to do anything bad, right? You're going to get an opportunity to be a better you and learn and push your boundaries out a little bit. And like Gordon said, once you push those boundaries out, they rarely go back to where they were, because you pushed them, right? You pushed them and you made a difference. You took a chance, and it almost always pays dividends to take a chance on something, to say yes and not no. So that's my 2 cents.
That's good.
Love it.
Okay, can I share something?
Of course.
They say the smartest person in the room is the room. If you've been living by yourself, and power to you, you've been doing a great job. You've been, getting water from the well until you're down to mud, but you haven't really expanded your community, right? What I've already done, already I'm connected to these insiders. Already I've got 2 or 3 big ideas that's between Christoph and Jeff and just these great people. Brian, I haven't really followed up, but we will. We're going to change the world, right? It takes a sort of bold act. If any of you people who follow me, who know what I've done and respect me, I put myself out there. You have to understand, I'm going to be backstage here. I'm broke. This year nearly finished me. Not quite, but nearly did. And here's $600 more that I don't have. Talk about faith, right? And I couldn't even say to my wife, why? I just had this feeling like I'm supposed to be at this. I think I'm supposed to be at this. At this time in my life, we're all relocking and loading. We're all trying to find out how to pivot after the pandemic. We're all trying to find out. By the way, I was trying to cross over into business. I've been doing education for 17 years. I'm ready to try something else, and I'm not going to find those connections by staying at home. I had to get there.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, if anyone in the world ever felt insecure and weird and confused about why I was there, it was me. I came out of that thinking this is one of the best things I've ever done. So if you respect me and you respect my opinion, there were times when I thought, what the hell? I mean, really, honestly, because you get that, right? When you put yourself out there to be looked at, to be judged, to be summed up, it's hard. At the same time, it's an act of faith that I think makes all of us new. And so I think we got to go back into this after this post-pandemic thing. We've got to find another gear, and you're not going to find it where you've always driven. You've got to go somewhere else. And for the money that this costs, by the way, this is, come on, man. When's the last time you invested in you? In you? I mean, you keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. When are you going to make sure the content of this giving is secure, is good, is healthy? This is time, I think your time. Go in there and invest in you, in the core of what you are and what you bring. I think everyone in this room knows what I'm talking about, right? But they all come at it from different dialects, and that's cool. But I can see in all your faces that you know what I'm talking about, right? That it's time to go in there and invest just a couple of days. What's it going to hurt? In you. And please, if you go in there, fully embrace this. I could have gone there lots of ways. I could have gone there thinking, oh my God, I've been doing this for years. These are all newbies. I could have gone in there judgmentally. I did not. I looked at what Christoph does. By the way, Christoph, some of the stuff that you seek to do blows me away because you don't have to do that. You just do this thing, but you don't. You're trying to build people up. You do this one thing that takes extra time, and I can see it's the first time you've done it, and I can see everyone's trying to figure it out. The boxes and the things inside the boxes. You're trying to build people's spirit. I'm sorry, but you're trying to build their spirit. You're trying to build their soul. You don't have to do that. And I'm sitting there going, I get you, brother. I see what you're trying to do. This is more than a training. This is a rebelief. This is a chance to rebelieve.
It's not just a hardcore competition. All right, who's up next? Who's up next? Okay. It's not a boxing match, right? It is. It's empowerment is what it's about. For you to come here and share your gifts, share who you are, and to embrace what we are doing, the experience, and then to go out better, stronger, faster, more bionic.
Yeah.
Old people will know what I'm talking about. Better, stronger, faster, bionic man. Become a bionic speaker, right? To be able to serve in a bigger way, a greater capacity, so that you can be more effective, even more so to your clients, your customers, the people you serve, the stages that you already speak on. Those people that you serve deserve for you to be rebooted. I teach customer service, and your customers deserve for you to be good, right? So that they can benefit and gain value.
So yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on what Kevin said. He said you want to change the world, right? Some people want to change the world, but how are you going to change the world if you're not changing yourself? If you don't change yourself first, you can't change the world. So coming to this event is a part of that, changing who you are, pushing yourself. Who's going to hear you? I hear it a lot. I want to change the world, but they're not speaking to nobody. It doesn't make any sense. So part of it is getting out there. And you said something about how people, you always hear, about the money. I just heard about this tonight, and somebody, it was like wasn't even that much money. It was barely anything. And I'm thinking, man, that's not even that much money to get this much value. It was something totally different from this. But in my mind, I'm thinking that person has a scarcity mindset, right? Scarcity mindset. They think they don't have it. And money is just this, right? But it's really it's a resource. You'll find things that you want. Listen, that same person will find a way to get to the bar. The same person will find a way to buy a pack of cigarettes. The same person will find a way to, let's say, like if you smoke, whatever. But they'll find a way to eat out at a fancy restaurant. They'll find a way to go to the movies. They'll find a way to watch 5 hours of the Netflix, right? They'll find a way to do a lot of different things, but other than working on themselves. And then they end up becoming, and I don't want to go down the rabbit hole with this, but a lot of people are depressed. Like Kevin was saying about the pandemic. And the best way to get out of that is take care of yourself and do things like this and push yourself. I'll tell you what. About a couple of years ago, I was sitting on the couch and I was training people, and I talked about the story. And it's not a sad story. It was me. I had everything. I was fine. I was making good money, but it wasn't enough. I started getting depressed. I'm like, I'm not leveling up. And so the first time I spoke, I was like, oh, that felt really good. You can reach a lot of different people. Then I spoke at your event, and then it just kept going. And then what I've noticed that as I level up and I'm doing this, all that other stuff starts washing away because you're pushing yourself now.
Yeah.
Right. And thank you, Kevin, by the way. That was I felt that, man. When you started talking just a minute ago, I was like, wow, I felt that. That was good. Thank you.
Back at you, brother. Back at you. You and I speak different dialects of the same truth. And my challenge to all those people out there that are thinking about doing this, I want you to really think about what it means to go back into the studio and pretend to be a freshman and to relock and load, to polish, and to go back to the source of the water that sustains you and that feeds everybody else. And just take 2 days and let go of ego. Just let go. Let go.
Yeah.
And just enjoy it. Right, on different levels. And look around the room. You're going to find other people who are so bought in. And some of the freshmen who don't even know what to think yet. Oh, my God. It's beautiful. You don't want to do anything to mess that up, right? And the Christoph and crew is making this possible. Hell, and you guys had me at hello. It took me 2 seconds. First, Christoph, I got to tell the truth, man. You came on strong. And I know why. I come on strong. When I give a crap, I come on strong. It's just like a chainsaw enema. I mean, to go from 0 to having my money in your Venmo, I'm like, but I get it. As I showed up, I realized that money was not much compared to what I got. It took 2 seconds to get that. And if you don't think I looked at you closely, and I wouldn't be in this meeting if I didn't know that you were everything you say you are. I get why you have to push. You got to pay some bills to make this even possible. I get that. But I looked you over, and I would not lie. I don't lie. I see what you do, and I think it's important. I think you grow people who make the world a better place. You know, how do you not know that?
And it's so amazing, to have that opportunity to be able to. Those of you who are watching, you are coaches, you are mentors, and you know what that's like, right? What that feels like, and the impact that you make. And we're just providing another opportunity, another platform to amplify what you're doing, maybe to a different group of people, maybe in a different way, connecting together. We have some Facebook friends on here. Facebook user says, "Hey." And I say, "Hey, tell me who you are." It doesn't tell me who you are. If you would like to come on screen, you're welcome to do so. We can invite you, or just tell us who you are. I want to take a quick little pause. We're not going to go too much longer, but I do want to take 60 seconds for this. On December 6th and 7th, we will be bringing the Ultimate Speaker Competition to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Join 20 other speakers like yourself for 2 days of connection, competition, and collaboration. This is an opportunity to get outside of your comfort zone, to stretch yourself. You have a message, you have a mission, you have a calling to speak. And if you are called to speak, then you must speak. The great motivator Les Brown says, "I don't know you, but I know something about you. You have greatness within you. You have gifts and talents that only you are meant to bring to the world. And if you have those gifts, then you must share them to the world. Your gifts are not for you, but they are yours to share, to be a blessing, to be an inspiration, to bring your expertise, to your story, to others, to the world. It's your time to shine."
So join us December 6th and 7th in Las Vegas for the Ultimate Speaker Competition. There we go.
Nice.
I am not a professional StreamYarder, but it is a great, great platform. We have Josh Hicks in the house. Josh Hicks is a gentleman who saw the opportunity, jumped on, introduced to us by none other than Gordon Burdecki. Josh, are you able to, I'm going to send you an invitation, Josh. So if you can hold on for just 1 second, you're going to have an invitation in your messenger box. While I do that, Gordon or Kevin, please feel free to.
Yeah. Josh is awesome, man. He's jumping on. I bet Josh. We were just connected. All I did was like one of his. This is how easy, like you meet people that are level up. What is it on Facebook? They have those little short clips, and he you put up a story, and he put up the story, and I liked it. I hearted it. And he's like, "Oh, I noticed you liked one of my photos. Thank you. I appreciate that." And then we ended up just talking, and then he ended up getting on my my webinar, and then he ended up. I introduced him to Christoph. Then he ended up signing up for the Ultimate Speaker Competition, and then he ended up telling me he's gonna win the whole thing too. I love the confidence. I love the enthusiasm. That's how you should be. By the way, everybody should be there. Even if you feel like, I remember when I was going to compete, I kept saying to myself, like, oh man, if I make the next round, it means I got to speak again. Look, so like, but then I sat at home. I don't know if anybody you think any of you out there, the power of writing. And I kept writing. I didn't win, by the way. I got the semifinals, but I kept writing. I'm going to win the Ultimate Speaker competition. I'm going to win. I wrote it over and over and over again. Now I didn't win, but guess what? I did better than I would have if I didn't do that. Right? I think it's
Absolutely. You killed it, and you hit the semifinals twice, and you came back and you were one of our featured speakers as a sponsor in Colorado Springs. So you would not have, like, look, we're growing this thing together. I mean, these two guys, Gordon and Brian, I mean, they're becoming backbones of this event. All right. I don't know if I can have 5 at a time. Yes, I can. All right. There we go. Here it is. Here he is. Josh Hicks, putting you on the spot. Welcome. Tell us, you don't even know what the event is. So the only thing you can talk about is, what are you doing?
Man,
why are you doing this?
Johnny on the spot. I literally just got off of a podcast interview and saw you guys on live. I was like, I got to give these guys a shout out. So, no, I'm excited. I mean, yeah, Gordon, I had an amazing interview and meeting with him, and he shared a little bit of the Ultimate Speaker competition, and this is how you grow, right? Word of mouth leads to new connections and new opportunities, and if you're not talking, you're not growing. So I connected with Christoph, which is an awesome guy, and Gordon, I can't say enough about him, and just excited. I got a little bit of information initially. And when you are convicted and you want to make a change in your life, it doesn't take a lot of pondering to move forward. You don't collect a lot of data. You make a decision, impulse, but off the desires of your why. And so I knew this was something I had to jump into.
Wow. And that's very, very powerful. So what would you say are your expectations? Do you have any expectations?
No, I don't have any expectations at all. I mean, I listen, and Gordon said, I like that. Hey, I'm going to win. When I say I'm going to win, this is a win against myself. I'm going because it's costing me something greatly. And anything that you want in life, it's got to cost you. It's got to cost you to the point that it convicts you to be there. If it doesn't, then your desires are somewhere else. So my expectations are really to grow and to hear other people and to have new friends in my circle that we can help each other, because what's the point of going to the top if you don't have people to do it with you?
So who's Josh Hicks? Tell us who you are.
Health coach, man. I'm pouring into people all over. And let me tell you something. If you can't pour into somebody else, you need to have someone pour into you first. So that way you're full and you can do it right back to somebody else. I love helping people. I am privileged and humbled to say that I am 60 pounds down. I've been maintaining that weight for 2.5 years, and I'm careful to say maintaining, because when you say maintain, you get comfortable. And when you get comfortable, old habits creep back in. But I am progressively becoming better, but keeping that 60 pounds off. That's the key.
What's the big goal you have?
The big goal I have is to really set my family free. I'm talking about generational wealth. I grew up in a very abusive home, and I watched my mom be physically beaten my entire childhood. But the one thing I remember is my mom getting up on Sundays, now never being at her best, but always making sure we were in church on Sunday. Wow. And mom is still grinding today. She's an amazing woman. I don't know anybody as strong as her, but I want to make sure that she never has to worry about finances or any kind of freedom. I'm contending for my family in such a big way.
Wow. And I got to tell you, since the first moment that you and I talked, Josh, boy, guys, ladies and gentlemen, this man, I mean, I'm high energy, but Josh Hicks, like, he texts me and I can feel it in the text, in the messenger. I just got a message from Josh. Whatever he's saying is like, oh, I just love being here.
Yeah.
In the Facebook group, or like, this guy is just woo bringing this. And I know he's reserved, but you can hear in the timbre of his voice. Am I right, you guys? Right? Those of you that are here, like, I can't wait to see you on stage. Like, it's going to be so fun. So fun. And all of you that are coming, we have people coming from Florida, Minnesota, California, Utah, like 7 or 8 states already, and Nevada, of course, California, and yeah. And well, where are you coming from?
I'm in Maryland.
You're in Maryland. Okay, there we go.
And I'll be quick about this, guys, but I want to be completely transparent. You know, I was praying the other day doing my devotion. I was driving down the road, and I said to God, I said, God, I'm underqualified to go to this event. I said, I'm getting ready to be against some top level players out there that have a lot to bring to the table. I don't know if I'm qualified to be speaking with these amazing people. And the reason I'm saying that to you is because we all have self-doubt. We all have these moments, but they are what challenge us and bring us to new heightened levels in our life. And God said to me so suddenly, he said, you're an instrument of God. And I don't know what your beliefs are and where you guys are today and where you stand, but you're fearfully and wonderfully made, regardless of what your beliefs are. And your self-doubt is best friends with fear. And it will stop you from creating the greatness and levels of breakthrough that you have inside you that nobody else can break through like you can. But you have to be willing to overcome that. So I'm excited, man. I'm full of joy, and I'm burning with desire to meet everybody because this is just an opportunity to grow.
I love it. Wow. Self-doubt is best friends with fear.
Yeah.
Woo! There's a song out there by his name lapses my mind at the moment, but there's a song out there called "Fear is a Liar."
Amen.
And it's true. Look, we all have. People say they're a storyteller, and that's one of our categories. Everybody has a story to tell, a story to share. But actually, we all have 2 stories. We have the story that we've been gifted with, and that is about what we've overcome and we've learned and grown through and been blessed to now share with others, whether it's inspiration or expertise or whatever it is, your story, your message. That's the one story you have. But you also, all of us, have another story, and it's what Josh just alluded to. And that is the story of who the hell are you? Who do you think you are? What makes you so special? This self-doubt. You're not good enough. Who are you? Or you're too good. That's the other story. You're too good for that crap. What is this? You're going to go apply to a competition? You've been speaking for 15 years. You make thousands of dollars. Like, people pay you. They want you to pay. That's a story that you are allowing to come into your mind. I'm too good for this. But that second story, whether it's I'm not good enough or I'm too good for this, is BS. Both sides of it. It's BS. Yeah. And it's another way of having self-doubt or overconfidence, conceit, arrogance. If you are amazing, and I know you are, then come and share it with us. Come and share it on stage. And then I will even say, come and take it all. Come on. We've got to have a winner. We have to have a winner. So why not you? If you are the guy, you are the girl, come and do it. Come and take it, because it's always so fun and exciting.
You know what's awesome about that, Christoph? You just said something really powerful there about stories. Feelings aren't facts. So when you start to really, people are hearing this call right now, or you're catching the replay, and you're starting to ask yourself, well, that sounds good, but how do I overcome self-doubt? I would challenge you to wake up 30 minutes earlier than you usually do. Beat self-doubt before it up. You know what I mean? You can feed yourself stories, or you can feed yourself facts, and your mind and your emotions and actions are going to be attached to one or the other.
Wow. Woo!
Oh, I got. I'm going to shut up now and let you all have the floor.
Thank you. Kevin Honeycutt.
Hey, I got to bow out. I just want to say thanks for letting me be here. I can't wait to see how this all goes. I'm a big fan of everything that's going on here. Nice to meet you, Josh. I just think, Christoph, you collect amazing people and you make amazing things possible. I thank you for that. I can't wait to see. I'm going to tag everybody I can on this video, so share it with me when you're done. I'm going to challenge a bunch of people who follow me, who respect me. Put it out there. Put it out there. What do you have to lose?
We've got this little Cyber Monday, whatever it is, special, and we'll extend it through tomorrow. We want to make it so, like, there's no question. Just jump in and do it. I promise you. Like, we don't give a guarantee, but if you need a guarantee, If you spend 2 days with us and it sucks and we suck, I will give you your money back. I'll buy you lunch too.
Wow. See you guys.
All right, my friends. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kevin. Gordon, Brian, last words.
Reasons are excuses. Don't give yourself any excuses. Just do it.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the great words of Yoda: "Try not, do."
All right, my friends. So here's where you do. You go to ultimatespeakercompetition.com, or you message me directly, or you text me, or you message Brian or Gordon or Josh or Kevin and say, I saw this. What do we do? We're going to close with this. On December 6th and 7th, we will be bringing the Ultimate Speaker Competition to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Join 20 other speakers like yourself for 2 days of connection, competition, and collaboration. This is an opportunity to get outside of your comfort zone, to stretch yourself. You have a message, you have a mission, you have a calling to speak. And if you are called to speak, then you must speak. The great motivator Les Brown says, I don't know you, but I know something about you. You have greatness within you. You have gifts and talents that only you are meant to bring to the world. And if you have those gifts, then you must share them to the world. Your gifts are not for you, but they are yours to share, to be a blessing, to be an inspiration, to bring your expertise, to your story, to others, to the world. It's your time to shine.
So join us December 6th and 7th in Las Vegas for the Ultimate Speaker Competition. You're live. We're on the broadcast, on the replay. Thank you so much. See you in Las Vegas, December 6th and 7th. Call me, message me, tell me that you're ready to go, and we'll get you all set. It's Christoph J. Wyman coming to you from Las Vegas. Cheers. Happy Monday. God bless.